Hey team, just wanted to do a quick update about the condo form changes that came into effect March 1st. So we talked about it at the sales meeting here in April, and we've gotten some feedback on a few different situational stuff and interpretation issues and how to deal with that. So now that they've been out for a little bit and everyone's dealing with it. So just to give you all some background, basically as of March 1st, the area updated our web forms with all of the condo document related forms based on changes in the Condominium Property Act that came into effect last year. That impacts basically everything: residential, agricultural, commercial, etc. All of the condo property appendix or schedules, as well as the condo purchase contract, etc. So hopefully you can see that. I'll move myself out of the way there in case you can't. It's important to note that documents registered on title, so anything that's registered on title for condos would be the bylaws, the registered condo plan, the CAD sheets, everything else is not required to be provided by the property management company because you can pull them on title. So as a listing agent, we encourage you to always get those documents and pull them up front. You can contact the reception staff if you need assistance with that, or you can use SPIN to pull those documents. Anything you can't get from SPIN, we can pull from the registry office that we get kind of additional documents that aren't hosted on SPIN. So next up, let me just get this working here, is reminder about the regulatory change. So this is the biggest challenge we're facing, is that RECA adjusted their council governance last year, if you remember as well. So now residential agents and brokers under one license category, commercial brokers, mortgage brokers, appraisers are no longer licensed and governed under RECA. They're governed by the Appraisal Institute. And now residential property managers and condominium managers are now governed under RECA. So that's a new change. And up till now, especially a lot of condo managers, really there was no regulatory environment. You could be a condominium management company and just providing that service without being governed anywhere. So there's a good link there if you're curious as well that you can look up. So our Service Alberta minister, basically, Minister Nate Gobish, I think is how you pronounce his last name, is now managing those changes and stuff. So this is done at like the provincial act, real estate act amendment level. And so that's where these changes come from. So what impact does this have to you and your business? So the Condo Act prescribes that the owner and or the manager, it needs to be provided with various forms, but not the ones you can get yourself. So hopefully that's clear. And all the changes they made mirror these changes made in the Act. So where's the impact of most of these? So the biggest impact are these. So this is like a comparison document. I'm going to put a link in the communication below directly to this document as well. And we have it in the Dropbox folder under reference guides. So anything on this column from May 2017 was the last, what was on the contracts previously. And in this contract side, or this column, it's what is now included with the contract. So a statement setting out the amount of the condo fee is no longer required. That's included in the information statement. This is the new one that's a big one, is that the Condo Corp now needs to disclose or provide a statement for any loan that they have. So condo corporations can get loans for capital improvements or whatever they need to do them for and vote on and do that and take on debt. And so a future owner needs to know what they're obligated to pay in terms of like debt repayment. So that statement needs to be provided by the condo manager or the condo corporation. The other two are as follows. So the two big ones there are, this is like a gray area. So we're just making sure you're aware of it, is that the way it's written is respect of a particular fiscal year that they have to provide all the minutes and the general meeting minutes if they're occurred at least 30 days before the date of the request. We've had a couple of managers providing like really old minutes because they may not have the new ones ratified yet by the board or whatever, but they might be giving it to, because it says a particular fiscal year, it might not be the most current fiscal year. So make sure that you're requesting that and paying attention to that when you receive documents. Statement setting out the unit factors and the criteria used. So that was previously kind of part of the condominium sheet, but now they have to provide a more detailed explanation as to how they arrived at the condo fee allocation by unit, because sometimes different units have different unit factors, maybe because certain units have a nicer view or things like that. It's typically done based on square footage, but not always. So they have to give you a statement to that effect, and consolidation of all the rules made by the corporation under 332.1 of the Act. So again, that's like any rules they have. Typically, they're in the bylaws, so they may bump you back to the bylaws, say, yep, all our rules are in the bylaws. But the reality is they now have to provide you like a summary document, a consolidation of any rules like no smoking, no pets, all the big stuff that are usually the concerns that our buyer clients have. They now have to provide that in a really clear summary, consolidated summary. Lastly is insurance policy. So historically, they just need to provide the insurance certificate here, but now they need to provide the actual policy. And I think that's a great change because it gives the details of what they're actually insured for on behalf of the corporation, the condo corporation. And that allows an insurance broker to look at the details of it and advise your buyer client or your seller, the owner of the condo, what kind of supplemental insurance they need to have from an individual owner basis and based on their needs and whatnot. So typically it includes, content insurance, ensuring like their appliances, any upgrades, renovations, and all of their, personal goods and the like. But there's a lot of things that sometimes aren't covered by the insurance company. For example, they might not insure for townhouses or things like that. As to give you a tangible example, they might not, the bylaws might state in the insurance policy, might state that they don't cover windows and doors and facade because there's townhouses and they're all kind of individual row houses. Well, then your buyer needs to make sure that they're insured for that in the event of a fire or flood or things like that. So not all condo corporations and property managers are up to speed yet on this, so we are getting some pushback. The main thing that we've seen where they said it would take 30 days to get the insurance policy. I have no idea why. They should have the policy on file. Know that based on the Act, they have 10 days from receipt of request to get you documents without rush fees or anything else. They have 10 days legally. And there is now, through RECA, governance to be able to hold them accountable to those rules and regs. So if you're getting any issues or pushback on that stuff, as always, feel free to reach out to any on the management team, and we can follow up with the condo management company and forward to RECA as required to deal with it, and potentially, in some cases, educate them about what their requirements are. Yeah, so those are the main changes. Hopefully that's clear. Tried to break it down and make it super simple. And as we know, this is our market that we're dealing with right now. You blink and stuff sells if it's positioned right and priced right. So with good information, you can manage condo sales well and make sure you're protecting your clients. Have a great day.